This in the class has been studying inspirational people. It is my pleasure to introduce you to my grandfather Ed as a man who inspires me. Papa, tell me about where you grew up.
I grew up in northwest Missouri on a farm, and I was born in 1931, and it was right after the Depression, and we had to raise we had a big garden so we could have food.
What is the Depression?
Well, it's when the times are hard. There's a lot of people are unemployed, and nobody has much money.
Poppy, tell me about the grade school you went to.
Well, I went to a little one-room country schoolhouse about a mile from where we lived, and my sister and I used to walk to school and then walk home, and we had about 24 students in there, and one teacher had to handle kids from 8 different grades, and there were about, I think I said 24 kids when I started, and when I graduated from the 8th grade, there's only 10, so they closed it that year, and then I started going to high school in a little town named Craig.
Who made your lunch?
Actually, we started off for the first few years carrying our lunch. We had little lunch pails, but then this lady that was our teacher decided that she would cook lunch for us, and so she had something like macaroni and cheese or something like that that was kind of simple to fix for us. And so in addition to teaching 8 grades, so she didn't have time to spend with everybody at once, so she gave us a lot of poems to memorize, and I still know quite a few of them.
What was your favorite poem?
Oh, there's one by Joyce Kilmer named Trees, and it's real short. It goes, "I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree who looks at God all day and lifts his leafy arms to pray."
I like that one. Papa, why did you choose to join the Navy instead of the Army?
Well, I just thought I would enjoy being on a ship and being out on the water, and so I joined the Navy. And if you went in the Army, you only had to go in for 2 years. But if you went into the other services, you had to go in for 4 years. So I went in when I was 19, and the Korean War ended in the summer of 1954, and so I got out a couple months early. And then I went to the University of Missouri to get my college education.
How many people were on the ship then?
A little over 300, and destroyers are small, and so they're not real well built, and they were called tin cans. So that was just what they referred to you as a tin can sailor if you were on a destroyer. We picked up some survivors of planes that were shot badly enough they couldn't get back to the aircraft carrier, and they had to crash their airplane into the water. And we picked up one guy that he was shot down 5 different times, and they grounded.
What was your job on the ship?
Well, I was in what was called gunnery fire control, and when a ship is moving through the water and the waves make it bounce like this, you have to manage somewhere or other to keep the guns steady. And so when the ship would rock this way, the gun wouldn't go up there, it would stay out steady. And actually I operated a big computer that was about 4 feet by 6 feet, and we put in the speed of the ship and whether the wind was blowing and how fast. And then there was one other piece of equipment called a stable element, and it's the one that kept the ships from going up and down like that.
Why Why did you move to Colorado?
Well, our middle son had asthma very badly, and we took him to Mayo Clinic and lots of doctors, and Mayo Clinic said he might be better if we would move to a drier climate. So we moved to Colorado on account of that. We liked Colorado, so we were very happy that the doctor told us that he might be better here, and so State Farm had an office in Greeley, and so I worked in that office the last few years that I was employed by State Farm.
I heard you are a lion. What does this mean and who do you help?
Well, Lions are a service club, and the motto of the Lions are "We serve," and they try to do things to help people out. And right now they've got a program where they're vaccinating all the children in poor countries against measles, because a lot of kids lose their eyesight when they get measles, and they also, a lot of them die. And so we have vaccinated several million kids, and a woman named Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf, and she spoke at one of our conventions, and she challenged us to be nice to the blind.
What accomplishments in life are you proud of?
Well, I'm proud that I'm a Christian, and that I go to Bible study fellowship, and that your grandmother and I raised 4 real good kids.
What are 3 adjectives that describe you best?
Well, I like to help people, and I get to do that in the Lions. I've valued working diligently and not slacking off, being a hard worker. And I've tried to teach our kids to have that objective also.
Thank you for chatting with me today and sharing your stories. I love you.
I love you too.